Alright, back again with another video. Doing a scanner again today. This one is the realistic Pro-2011 model from RadioShack. And it came in pretty clean already. I haven't cleaned it up yet. I'm going to take a look at the inside before powering it up just to make sure we don't have any leaky capacitors. Because if you've ever dealt with older electronics, especially ones like this, they most likely have electrolytic capacitors inside, and those little capacitors, which has an electrolyte inside that's liquid, they tend to leak out after 20-30 years. So maybe a good idea to crack it open, check it out before plugging it in, but it looks really clean on the outside, so I'm happy to see that. This is a 20 channel older scanner made around 1987 or 88, somewhere around that time frame. And it was had for the meager price of, let's see if I can get that in there, $10 US, so not bad. All right, let's get a look at the inside. So cracking this thing open, looks like it's going to be 6 screws on the very bottom here. Not sure if the screws that are in the little feet there, if they are part of holding the case on or not, but we'll try it without taking those off first. Okay, after taking the 6 screws off here, it looks like it's not necessary to take the screws off that are holding the 4 rubber feet on, so you can leave those in. This little cover comes right off. All right. So I spot one problem already. Let me get this tripod squared away and we'll take a look at that. We have a big glob of something here, and that might not be from a capacitor. I'm not sure. I don't think it is. No, it couldn't be that much, because there's only 2 electrolytic capacitors right here, and they don't have that much in them. That is more likely some kind of adhesive or something, or some kind of potting compound. I'm not sure what that is, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to be there. So let me get that cleaned up, get this thing put back together, and we'll see what we got. But it's always good to inspect these things before you power them up first time you get them. Here's a closer look at it. Let me see if it almost looks like a wax or something. I'm not sure what that is. Interesting. All right, let's get that cleaned up. I'm going to heat it up and see if it'll melt off with a heat gun. Before I do that, though, I want to point out some of these other. Here's some larger electrolytic capacitors here. These little round ones, these are ceramic disc capacitors. You don't have to worry about those as much. But this style here, they are prone to leaking after a certain amount of time. So you want to check them, make sure there's no corrosion around them. Make sure they're not puffing up either. If they're kind of puffy, they're about to pop. So something of note there. Looking inside, it looks like there's a downward firing speaker. Yep. And everything else looks pretty good. We just need to get that off there. All right. Back after a little bit of cleaning. Got it all buttoned back up. I have found the best way to get that off is to go outside because it makes a mess. Take the board out and take it and hold it upside down. Point upwards with a heat gun and let that stuff drip off. And once it's all dripped completely off, go in with a foam Q-tip and clean the rest of it off that's adhered to the board, which should come right off like water. So after cleaning it off, getting the board cleaned with the isopropyl alcohol after that, got it back together. Wasn't able to film the outside part because it's hard to do that film with a broken arm as it is. So if I can't use a tripod, I'm not able to film it at the moment. So let's fire this thing up, see how we can see how it does. All right. Oh, looks like it's already turned on. Okay. Let me turn it back off for a moment. It did come with an antenna, and these types of antenna go in the top for just, that's what it comes with. It's just a threaded, so you can see that threaded base, and it goes down through the top here. Once you get it through the hole, just screw it in place. Yep, it's on there now. Now, if you did want to put a better antenna, like most of the other ones, you could put an external right here. There's a spot for an external antenna. That type of socket is a Motorola socket, and that is similar to what you would have on a car stereo antenna. So to use coaxial cable that's meant for other things like that, you would need an adapter, and those are readily available for about $2 to $3 US on eBay. And let's take a quick look around it. Nothing on the side there. There's the front view. You've already seen it does have a headphone jack. Unlike the older models, this one has the 3.5 millimeter socket, so a more modern set of headphones would work on that. Nothing on that side as well. On the back you've seen. So, okay, got the antenna. It turns on. Let's see if put some squelch on it. Yep, it scans. And this unit has 20 channels that are programmable. This one is not old enough that it uses the crystals, the frequency crystals, luckily, because those are a pain if you've not dealt with them. You have to have one crystal per frequency that you're scanning, and you have to get those pre-made somewhere unless you're able to do that sort of thing. So this is good. This is when it started getting into the more modern era of scanners, where you can just type it in and scan whatever frequency you'd like. So let's put one in. So I'm going to put it on manual mode. It goes all the way to 20, then it wraps back around to channel 1. So to program these things, it's pretty standard for the Realistics. Hit program. You'll see it shows PGM in the corner. At least I hope you can see that. And then at that point, you just type in your frequency. So we'll go with a GMRS frequency, 462.6. Enter. There you go. And channel 1 is now on that frequency. So that happens to be one of the local repeater frequencies here in the Denver area where I'm at. And maybe we'll be able to pick up something here in a moment. Let me extend the antenna up. Okay, I've got that extended. And rather than go through that process for a few more channels, I'll just pause the video here, type those in, and come back to it. I guess it should be noted that this thing has no battery backup like some of the others would have. A compartment on the backside there for a 9-volt battery to keep the channels when the power's out or when it's unplugged. This one doesn't have that, so as long as you leave it plugged in, even if you turn it off, when you turn it back on, your channels are still there. Unplug it, go to another room. If you unplug it very long, it does lose the channels, and you got to program those back in. So something worth noting. Something else worth noting is what frequencies does this actually scan on? So let me flip it over and we'll look at the label. All right, so this is what we're looking at for frequency range: 30 to 54 megahertz, 138 to 174 megahertz, 380 to 512 megahertz. So as long as what you're trying to scan is within those ranges, it should pick it up. If it's an analog signal, this scanner is too old to do digital or trunking, or definitely not encrypted. If you're trying to scan for like police bands, check your area to make sure your area has not gone digital or digital and encrypted. Otherwise, you won't be able to hear anything but a computerized tone, and that is no good. Well, it sounds like it does work. That is somebody off of the local repeater. So, yep, good to know that it is working. So are these things worth getting in 2024 or later if you're watching this video later? I guess it depends on what you're trying to monitor. A lot of areas have gone digital for most of their stuff. This doesn't pick up digital signals or it doesn't decode them, I should say. It does pick them up. But you can't do anything with it. It just sounds like a squealing computer tone. I wouldn't rush out and buy one if it were expensive. This was a $10 one, but if you can get them for $10 to $20, yeah, they're neat to mess around with. And with that, I will close. This is the Pro-2011 realistic scanner from RadioShack. Until next time.